Moto2 is about to get underway for the first time ever at Balaton Park in Hungary. 7 days ago, we had a cracking Moto2 race in the Red Bull Ring in Austria. What are we going to witness today? Let's go down to our colleagues trackside at TNT.
Of course, yeah. Nothing's confirmed, but with the advancements that Honda are making, if he has signed for Honda, this looks like a superb career choice.
100%, yeah, and obviously the massive change of rules for 2027. So this is going to be, maybe redistribute a little bit the forces in presence, and we might see Honda, getting better and better. They are definitely catching up this season. They've been impressive. They've made use of the concession. They've done a great race actually yesterday with the two factory riders, Luca Marini and Joan Mir. Joan Mir got top 6 in the Grand Prix last week. So. Yeah, it looks like Honda is coming back, and it's good to see.
You might be thinking, what about Manu Gonzalez? He's leading the championship. Let's hear from him first, and then we'll talk about his prospects afterwards.
Manu, back on the front row, but just tell us, how difficult is it to plan and have a strategy for a race where nobody's ever been before?
Well, I think the strategy is to make best start possible and go in first position in the first corner. Then the race will be easier. The pace is good. I think everyone is really close, so it will be the key will be not to make errors in the brakings and try to go fast lap by lap, doing all the laps the same, because the end will be difficult. It's true that the tires last well, so it won't be very difficult to manage it. So let's try to make a great start, and then if we have to battle, we will battle, but let's see if we can go in front.
Thanks, Manu.
Thank you.
Well, Manuel has been the cream of the crop in Moto2 this year, leading the way. So if you're sitting at home, you're thinking, why choose Diogo and not Manu then?
Well, Manu's name is being touted around for a MotoGP ride for next year. I know he's in talks with Yamaha. He was in talks with Honda as well. I mean, you put them both head to head. Actually, Manu Gonzalez's career, he's had more success, but he's been doing it for much longer. But they're both coming sort of in strange routes into MotoGP. Manu Gonzalez was through the World Supersport paddock, won the World Supersport 300 Championship. And with Diogo Moreira, it was more the off-road with dirt track and all that lot. But, I mean, I look at them both. They're both incredibly talented. If you were to pick now, if I was to pick between them, I'd pick Diogo Moreira over Gonzalez. Just the way he rides, like Sylvain said, he rides in a real special way. He's very, very talented, got a lot of feel, a lot of understanding. And he's Brazilian, which does help.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, riders don't like that,
well.
but yeah, we know we're going to Brazil next year. But great rider, and we wait to hear what's happening with Manu. The rumour actually this morning was swelled up again that it was Jack that was going to be chosen by Pramac, but we wait for that announcement. We thought we would have had it by now, but not yet. Let's go to the second row of the grid. Great qualifying this weekend from Colin Veyer.
Colin, you really seem to have got on well with this circuit here at Balaton Park. Just tell us how it is to handle a Moto2 machine around this circuit.
It's tight and it's quite interesting, but I like the track. It's not like as usual. It's quite tight, and the other tracks I have like a bit more width. But overall, I think it's a very nice track, and I hope we can be competitive in the front today. We just try to maintain the level that we had all weekend, and to see if we can be there for the top 5 and maybe for top 10.
Have a good race.
Thank you.
Jake Dixon's had a better weekend here. There's been a change of personnel in the garage, and he's qualified in 4th, Sylvain.
That's great for Jake, because obviously he's had a difficult weekend last time out, and he was able to put a good qualifying lap. We know Jake is strong in the races, so yeah, we expect him to be fighting for podium.
Let's find out how he's feeling.
Jake, it sounds like you're making some last-minute alterations there, but does it feel like you've made a bit of a breakthrough this weekend? Is this the best you've felt for a couple of races?
Yeah, let's just see. I don't really want to speak too soon. I'm optimistic to see how the race is going to go. I'm curious, in fact. It's been really difficult, but yeah, the team are doing everything to push in my direction that I feel is needed, and every time we make a step, I go faster. So, yeah, curious to see how the race goes. Just going to get my head down and see what happens.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to see Jake back in form again. Let's run across the front row. Diogo Moreira, we've spoken about in pole. Zonta van der Gerberg in 2nd. Chances for him?
Well, great effort. Came from Q1 as well, and yeah, ended up on the on the front row, so a little bit like what Fabio Di Gianantonio did in MotoGP. He was able to make his way to the front and looking really good. So for Zonta, it's a great opportunity there. You know, he's not used to be racing at the front, and that's going to make a big difference. We know here on this type of stop and go track, positioning is really important at the start. You know, after a few corners, there'll be gaps already. So yeah, for Zonta, it's a beautiful opportunity, and he's been riding well.
Yeah, we've got Manu Gonzalez starting on the third place on the front row of the grid, then Zonta in second, and as we discussed, Diogo Moreira starts in pole position, our second race of the day. Let's hope it can be as exciting as the Moto3 race. Let's go to the commentary team. M Labs alongside Gav.
Moto2 is about to get underway then for 22 laps around Balaton Park, and anything is expected. The bikes are getting quicker. Is the track going to get safer? Here's the question. It's time for the Moto2 race. The first Hungarian Grand Prix since 1992. Let's check in with Gav for the grid.
A thriller on our hands on MotoGP's newest stage. 22 laps of Moto2 beside Lake Balaton. Brazil's Diogo Moreira on fire recently, takes pole by just 0.05 of a second ahead of Zonta van der Verburg. A surprise after coming through Q1. And championship leader Manu Gonzalez completed the front row. Jake Dixon just missing out on the front row by 1,000th of a second. He starts fourth. We saw Colin Fire alongside him, and Aaron Canet, title contender, on the inside there on that run down to turn one. You saw Olgado and Alonso. They've got a strong rookie charge to come. They're on a good row three with Ayumu Sasaki. Joe Roberts is 13th. We saw Barry Baltas there in 15th, but some huge names way down the order when you get down to Celestino Vietti, for example, who's on the podium last time out. Albert Arenas, who's been on the podium this season and running up towards the sharp end. And then even Sergio Garcia standing in this weekend as a replacement rider for the Dynamo Intact GP team. Celebratus out injured. Good to see him back, but a tough weekend, a tough baptism as he gets used to the Calyx again, having ridden the Boscoscuro for a couple of seasons. Michael, brand new circuit then. Title at stake, isn't it, here for Gonzalez with 19 points ahead of Canet. Moreira at 35 behind. What do you see happening over the next 22 laps?
Yeah, well, what we know from Manu Gonzalez, he can control the race quite well. It is frustrating for him at the moment. Championship-wise, it's back under a one-race points gap, down to 19 points. Aaron Canet, the benefactor of a stone through Manu Gonzalez radiator last time out, so he needs to get things back on championship-wise. Moreira's had pace around this racetrack. It's a brand new race circuit, one that seems to work well for him in terms of how he's got his bike set up, how he rides it. I think those two are the main threats in terms of race rhythm, but I'm hoping for a surprise from a rookie like Colin Fire, who's looked very good all weekend, and a mature head on a young set of shoulders can always make his way forward in the pack. So I'm thinking that he could have a good tilt at a podium finish here today.
Dixon and Canet on row 2. What do you make of their weekends and what possibilities they've got from 4th and 6th?
Jake sounded calm and measured on the grid. Spoke to him this morning. Enjoys the racetrack. Seems to have clicked with the Balaton Park circuit, and we know Jake will go forward. It looked like he was struggling for one lap pace, but got it done in the end. Second row of the grid start for him, and everyone's on the same tyres here, so it's just going to be a case of managing those soft front, soft rear Pirelli tyres here today, and Jake does that better than most.
Alonso's one to keep an eye on, isn't he, from row 3 with his teammate Danny Olgado alongside Adrian Huertas, as Livio Super mentioned before. He's been good from the 4th row of the grid, so there are a few contenders further back, and let's hope in Moto2 that when we go racing there is a chance to get through the field. We will see. 22 laps ahead. Diogo Moreira, fresh from victory last time out in Austria. 2 off races, of course, in Germany and in the Czech Republic. 4 back in Germany, and then...
Yep, here we go. Let's open up the situations. So many riders in this series. The actual timing tower is simply just what we have. Ready to go then for the Moto2 Grand Prix of Hungary here at Balaton Park. Eyes to the lights. The 5 activate. Lights out. We're racing. Bad start for our pole sitter Diego Manuela. Great start from Manuel Gonzalez. He'll shoot up it towards turn number 1 as they come into the breakers over turn number 1. Can they get through okay in the first corner? Looks to be so far. Contact. 4 riders down, and this will have to be another red flag 4 riders down in the first corner. And well, we got lucky in the Moto3. We haven't got lucky in the Moto2. One of them is off, and one of them is Justina Vietti. The 13, the 15, and the 19 are out of the race. Jake Dixon has taken the lead of Moto2. Cooney, O'Reilly out of the race. Binder's out of the race, but Jake Dixon leads here at the Hungarian Grand Prix. Move through on the inside. Binder's rejoined the race. So, Jake Dixon up 3 places. He leads here at Balaton Park. The Brit has got a tremendous start. Cooney's crashed out. Ryder's okay, according to our monitor up here. Binder's rejoined the race. No sign of the race being stopped. We've still got a yellow flag out in sector 1. If it does go red flag, you'll see the timing monitor go through. Adrian Hoitas has moved up the order as well into 4th position. Side by side through the chicane at 15 and 16. Bottom of the circuit coming through before 17, then over the line for the first lap time completion. No sign of the red flag at the moment. And they're approaching that first corner drop-off point. We have now apparently gone green. That's better news, okay. Well, a tremendous, confusing start. You can see he's out of the race. All right, O'Reilly's out, Cooney as well, Vietti, they're all now lapped down the first corner. Not the situation that we were expecting or wanted to. Huetas up 8 places. Unbelievably, Isaac Guevara's up 9. Stunning start from him. Abderrena, Sergio Garcia up 6. Garcia back in the championship, running up there in 21st position. Dixon leads, but Diego Manuela's right behind him as he comes down towards the braking zone at turn number 6. Come on, Jake. What have you got? Oh, look at the flames spitting out the back of Dixon's Boscuro bike on the Mark VDS situations. Looks absolutely fantastic. It's just what we like to see in motorcycle racing at the moment as they try and hook back through on the inside line. Dixon still going defensive. 3 riders further back. That's Aaron Canner making his way through on, well, I believe that's going to be, yeah, it is going to be Aaron Canet in 4th place. So Gonzalez drops down a couple of places. Vietti has rejoined the race apparently, so Vietti's rejoined in contention. Dixon leads for Great Britain. Binder's come into the pit lane. So it's hard to tell how many people are out of the race as things stand. I'm seeing 24 are left circulating, plus Vietti is a lap down. So there we go then. A dramatic start. Isaac Guevara has been given a double long lap penalty by the stewards. That was way earlier on in the event to try and take back through. Binder, Vietti, Cooney, O'Reilly down. Dixon leads from Monrella and Gonzalez. Ion Philip Salak has dropped back. Salak's dropped back now in the other Mark VDS squad. So where's he come from in the melee? This is certainly a bizarre weekend. MotoGP stewards jump start for Guevara. So that's why he's been given the double long lap penalty. He's jumped the start, so they don't like that one. They don't like it at all in Moto2, so they've taken the appropriate action to close it through. Lap 3 of 22. Dixon leads from Diego Moreira alongside then Manuel Gonzalez. Morena is trying to hold it together. He's looking on the inside line. Dixon goes light on the brakes, one trying to go defensive. They're both doing 23.7s in that second sector. So there isn't that much of a disagreement between them all. It's unusual to have a British rider at the front. Dixon's won a couple of races this year, but this is better. Vietti's coming to the pit lane. Vietti's out of the race, so we are now officially down to 24 riders here at the Moto2 Grand Prix of Hungary. It took me ages to set up the timing monitor for this one because of the amount of riders in it. Didn't even need to really bother, did I, really, because it's all changed up. Well, there we go then. Out of the 20 laps, it's all been a bit confusing, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes in the Moto2. There's Vietti out of the race then, and he'll filter back into the pit lane. Dramatic start. Let's take a look at it. Let's get out to Emlav.
Let's call it. Start again. What I'd like to see is the race that's going on at the front. because we've got the leaders neck and neck. Anyway, this is everything that's going off.
Oh, it was actually Arenas. Garcia touched Arenas. Arenas touches Darren Binder. Binder goes down, and then it is the knock-on effect right in at the inside on the curb.
I'm looking at how tight Jake Dixon turned in turn 1, and that meant he could just set up turn 2 and ride around the outside while all that was going on further back down the order. Meanwhile, we've had a change in leader at the front.
Monrella
Looks like a good exit for Moreira and the run down towards turn 5. We've seen a bit of a dress rehearsal last time around. We need to see it again there to see exactly how he pulled that one off. But yeah, cleanly done, and already making some daylight between him and Jake through the fast turn 7 and 8.
And you then feel that Gonzalez is going to have to do something pretty rash, isn't he? Because Moreira has pace around here. He had more pace than Dixon, no doubt about it here. He just showed how difficult it is to get past. It cost Moreira a couple of laps to get in front. Now, can Gonzalez find a way through on Dixon? If it takes him a couple of laps, it could well be that Moreira then has time to pull away at the front.
Cannett's working his way back across. Colin Fire is coming with them. Adrian Huertas hanging on there. And Zotte van der Gerberg making amends from a difficult opening few laps. Hopefully the young Dutchman can get back across. He's at fantastic pace throughout the weekend here.
So at the moment, Manuel Gonzalez leads by 22 points to Aaron Canet, 204 to 182. Diego Moreira is 26 back. Barry Boltes massively 61 seconds back. Alonso 141.259. He's got the 8th fastest time in the running order. Who just shifted down? Ortola moves up the order. Now what are we watching here? Exited turn 5 down towards turn 6. Green paint exit, so lap time's going to be decided to get cancelled there. So Dixon got on the paint, and that's why Diego Moreira took the lead and just pulled around the outside. Well, that is a shame, but it's sort of the occupational hazard that you have here in MotoGP. Alonso, 1 foot. Was that a red flag signal? No, there's a marshal that's walking in front of the, walking back up. I thought there was a red flag out there. I saw a flash on the camera monitor. We are still green, that 5 for 22. So they all hurtle down on the brakes, trying to find the inside line. Cautious, wild, accelerating, beauty. That's exactly what we like to see here in the Moto2 race. Guevara's been given a double long lap penalty now on the board as well. Binder's rejoined the race, so Darren Binder has restarted. He's 3 laps down, but they've fixed those incidents on the start line crash. So he's back up and running. Moreira by 0.3 of a second leads to Dixon. Gonzalez running in 3rd. And now the waiting game begins of Moto2. All on the Pirelli tyre, remember, not Michelin. Pirelli rubber. Let's just see what will happen.
Finishing off those tighter corners.
Yeah, the natural nod on to the front tyre. Fastest lap from
Guevara,
Moreira. Manu Gonzalez looks up the inside of Jake in turn 1.
Right, can Jake turn underneath him here and try and ride around the outside into turn 2?
No.
What comes off there from Gonzalez, but he has made it through. Well done. That was by Gonzalez. Even though he went a little bit deeper, he was then able to park it down, wasn't he? Into turn 2. Isan Guevara's double long lap penalty was because he was an incomplete going through the long lap loop.
Yes, he's rejoined.
Guevara, who was right in the top spots, has dropped back and will drop back further now. In the race, Moreira has 3/4 of a second over Manuel Gonzalez in 2nd place. In 3rd, Jake Dixon. You wonder if there's a personal score here between Moreira and Gonzalez. Both been looking for a MotoGP ride. The talk is Moreira's got it for Honda next year. Gonzalez, we understand that conversations with Honda and Yamaha. The talk is today that he'll stick around in Moto2 for another season. So maybe Gonzalez here is more than just the race win at stake. There's a bit of pride too.
Yeah, a bit of pride indeed. And unfortunately for Manuel Gonzalez, I think his Spanish passport would go against him a little bit, but Honda and Yamaha not really considering that. They're looking for the fastest rider, and at the moment Diego Moreira's slid up the Moto2 category in these middle part of the season, these races in Europe. He's really found his feet in the Italtrans garage, and yeah, arguably a talent that I think will sit well in MotoGP in the future.
He's got a bit more X factor, and I don't mean that off the track. I mean actually on the track. He does different things, doesn't he, with the motor? Manuel Gonzalez is brilliant. There's no doubt about it. It's taken him a few years to get to this point, hasn't it? But it's very much wheels in line, likes it a certain way, and it's been working for him all season. But Moreira's got that spark of surprise about him.
He has, and unfortunately the stats don't lie when you see it's took Manuel 5 years or so to get to this point. It's took Diogo too. Certainly, I agree that the X factor is more in Diogo's favour, and the way he rides a bike, he has got a quite unique style, and makes it work to hit to great effect for his natural inclination to have it sideways and steering through the turns.
And realistically, hasn't been road racing that long. I know he has, you know, since he was in his mid-teens. But it's, you know, it's all happened in a shorter space of time. You feel like his ceiling could be higher.
Yeah. In Junior GP, he was competitive, not a standout rider with the Monlau team. He came into the Moto3 Grand Prix category, did win one race in the end in Moto3, but certainly again not a standout rider. And then Moto2 in his rookie season had shown some signs and definitely tipped for future success, but he's really come to the fore this season and developed into a mature and even championship contender for this season, his sophomore year in the Moto2 category.
There is Sasaki. He's got track limits warning on the number 71. He's got through on his teammates as well. Dons van der Goberg has Philip Salak, so Van der Goberg going backwards. Has had pace all weekend actually, Van der Goberg, but he felt like he just nailed it about right when we had our qualifying yesterday. At the front, Gonzalez has closed the gap here, Michael. It's down to 0.4 of a second after fastest lap of the race, a 1:41.1 on a Moto2 bike is impressive.
It is. They were down in the mid-40s. 40.380 was the full time from Diogo Moreira.
Hold it in,
so
though.
Perhaps a little more margin out there, but obviously tyre consumption at this stage in the race will play a factor into these lap times remaining in the 41 second range. A little bubble there for Diogo.
Diego nearly losing out massively, exit of turn 6. Third gear changes up, the whole bike wiggles around from underneath him.
Tram 765 engines, they've got a lot of torque down low in the RPM, and Diogo just lit it up. It does mean that they're not as busy as the MotoGP riders up and down the box. They can afford to negotiate a lot of these slower corners in second gear thanks to the triple engine torque off the turn.
Out of 11 then, as you saw there, Gonzalez 3 tenths, nearly 4 tenths quicker on that previous lap. Jake Dixon's had his track limits warning come up. We were worried, weren't we, that might happen. Flirting with it, and now he's got to keep his nose clean. It's out of that turn 4 in particular, but there are so many corners where you can exceed track limits. So you've got there, 2 of them just on the outside. Outside here, out of the final corner, turn 17. Down towards turn 1 we go. On the exit of turn 2, there's another track limits, and turn 3 and turn 4. And then in between, out of 7 and out of 8. Lots of places where track limits come into play. Gonzalez has closed that gap well over the last couple of laps here, and he's turning tighter than Moreira.
Another good lap for Manuel, and he just looks composed in the braking zones, taking a few metres back on Diogo Moreira. And in that first section, you can see how he turns a little tighter through turn 2. They've got a comfortable margin, 1.2 seconds over Jake Dixon at the moment, who's coming under some pressure from Aaron Canet and Colin Byer. They've had a good couple of laps just chipping away at Jake Dixon's gap.
Dixon has 1.2 behind Gonzalez now, and then 4 tenths ahead of Canet and Fire. Here comes Gonzalez.
Can Manuel Gonzalez have a go on the inside of Diego Moreira? I don't think Can Munoz been given a long lap penalty now as well. So lap 9 and 22, David Munoz has been given exceeding track limits, has been given the warning. So there we go. Although you can see it on the timing tire as well, it tells you all the information that it needs to. The action still continuing on. Moreira by 2 tenths of a second at the moment now, holding off at the front here. Gonzalez just picking his moment. 14 laps to go. It's nowhere near the go point yet. You go now, the tyres will be ripped up. It is just confirmed now. for exceeding the track limits. Diego Moreira leads over the line there to start lap 10 of 22, 13 to go. Dixon is now lapping a little bit faster, 1:41.4 last time round, so it's been better than it has been for a while. Tony Alberino has been given a track limits warning now as well, so can't break off that too much as things currently stand. Some stunning, absolutely stunning racing right now as I find my mouse control as they run in together. But Diego still trying to have the advantage at the front. I don't want to say have his cake and eat it, but that seems to be the situation that they're trying to get to right now as well. Just pushing everything as hard and as fast as they can and hoping it all sort of merges together at some point in this event. This is the Moto2 Grand Prix of Grand Prix of Hungary. I know why I did that in my brain, if you wanted to know why. It was because I remembered that I didn't commentate the last race. So I was looking at the timing tower, seeing that this is the first race of Moto2 with our new graphics pack, where you can see it in HD. And I said the wrong one. Look, I'm running on 3 hours sleep thanks to NASCAR. Appreciate you all sticking with us. Let's get in the chat then. Suzuki's having a fantastic race, supposed to finish a long time if he stays on. Carlos is here enjoying it. Plug's here too. Let's have a great battle and great race. My predictions are Diego Moreira alongside Manuel Gonzalez and Colin Via. Well, I'll give you Colin. Well, Colin Via's in 5th, so actually having a great run there on the run. Navarro, Hologado, Binter's coming to the pit lane. They're coming through there as well, but Navarro's given a track limits warning. So into the pits has come Binter. All lap times down, I'm afraid, at the moment, so it's not going to be looking too good. But, oh look, we're in the same situation we were the other day. Look, we've got laps where no one's overtaking. Again, there's a couple of 1-2 moves. Munoz having to set that penalty, so drops down. We're in the phase of the race where nothing is happening once again. You can see it now on our monitor up here in the commentary box to show you. 12 to go, and so far, it's the same thing again and again.
As well, it's been a tough enough rookie campaign for him, but certainly showing what he's capable of. And you would imagine the AO squad will want him to stay in there for another season. He's shown enough, I believe, in year one to get another crack at this.
Manuel Gonzalez riding so close to the rear of Moreira on this lap. But Moreira's strong, isn't he, through that past couple of kinks. And what Gonzalez is doing is trying to get a run-up, isn't he? To give himself a shot, to give himself a chance of being able to lunge.
Mapping
somehow get alongside on the way off of turn 8. It will set up the move into 9.
Mapping 2, what will that be, Michael?
You would imagine it will be just a power delivery mapping. You can have as many as you want on the handlebar, either engine brake or ignition mapping, and just smooth the power out a little bit to help manage tyre consumption.
Battle for the race lead right now as well.
Looking back in number 18. Championship leader Manuel Gonzalez.
Halfway.
Out of the final corner they go. When they cross the line, it's half race distance. 11 laps complete, 11 to go. We've got our head-to-head. Is this the title head-to-head as well? You know, is Aaron Canet going to fall backwards? Reminder, Canet's only won 1 race this year. Moreira's got 2 to his name. He's 35 points behind. If it stays like this, it would be 30. Still with 8 races and 200 points on the table.
Yeah, a long way on the board left.
Long way to go in the title race, and with Moreira now his future secure. He's on form. If it wasn't for the incident in Germany, he'd be even closer, and that was arguably his best performance to date in Moto2. So I think he could well be a thorn in Manuel Gonzalez's side over the last part of the season. Canet not quite able to battle these two as consistently as he needs to in terms of wanting to overturn Manuel Gonzalez's championship lead.
Gonzalez has been patient so far, hasn't he?
Yellow flag, sector 2.
He's letting Moreira know he's there. He's doing the old Valentino Rossi, isn't he? Pile the pressure on from behind.
Alonso Lopez, he's crashed out at the start of the end of sector 2, so Lopez is out.
Today, you can always sense the rider behind
okay.
him. For Moreira, there's a crash for Alonso Lopez. He was having a better weekend to this point, but crashing out of 17th, so the man who has just signed a new contract to move to Prix next season. I thought that was going to be a look for Gonzalez down into turn 15, but not this time. Just a little dress rehearsal.
Just not quite getting close enough, and that's just the nature of the circuit, isn't it? That every time you think you're going to get close enough by the end of the straight, you're already braking, and you've not quite been able to show the wheel into turn 1. And it's pressure, this, isn't it, for Moreira? This is a test. This is a challenge to not make a mistake. His mind will have to be sharp, razor-focused here.
Yeah, he has to keep the challenge at bay.
Oh, it's a
that's
fast
crashing
one.
between turn 7 and 8.
Oh, here we go.
the bike
Here's Joao
hits
again.
him.
This is Joao's camera. He's stuck with it. I wonder if they moved Joao away from that corner today. That's the cameraman who's got the shot of that down.
That was a nasty crash for Alonso Lopez at turn 7, exactly the same as Acosta yesterday, but he actually went with the bike. Acosta let go early. Lopez just got dragged with it.
Batista, but the crash from Pedro Acosta yesterday just shows how much more corner speed they carry on the MotoGP machines when the front let go. They let go with anger. But yeah, Alonso Lopez, good to see him back on his feet there. That was a rough old tumble through the gravel. Down at David Alonso, personal best last time around. He's only 6/10 off Colin Vire. He could well get himself into this podium battle.
Yeah, on that previous lap, Dixon and Vire at level pegging in terms of lap time. Vire a 10th quicker, and then another 10th quicker still, Alonso with a personal best lap. So having dispatched now of Huertas, you can just see he's starting to close in on Vire, Canet and Dixon. Even though, here we go.
I thought he was going to go for it again. Yeah,
it just shows though, doesn't it? However much you want to make a move,
he could have done it there for sure. He got
but it would have been. They would have both been going wide.
They'd have been close into 15, but you could see the drive he's getting through on the exit of 13 through 14. His rear was pumping a little. He's perhaps using a bit more tyre on the left side than Moreira at this stage in the race. Alonso with no time whatsoever getting through on Canet.
Yeah, so Vire got through on Canet, and then in doing so, Canet comes back now at Alonso, but that's helped Dixon. It also gave Alonso a bit of encouragement to pounce.
The go point.
In the background, just have a look, there is Colin Vire.
So
Vire's turn 15.
Yeah, Vire to 4.
Oh, tough it out round the outside.
He tried to, didn't he? And I have to give credit to Vire as well then for turning it and then on top of the Spanish rider. Really good from the rookie.
Yeah, Colin's got some good pace and looks solid in the braking zones at the moment.
Alonso's got through on Canet again as we look from the helicopter down on our leaders. Gonzalez isn't going to go through, but I'd love to just see if we can see behind. Can we from this shot? Whether Alonso is stuck on the move past. Yes, Alonso is through on Canet now. So in terms of the championship, this is good news in some respects for Gonzalez. Another pump of his rear tyre out of turn 11, but he will be extending his lead over Canet. The problem is he'll be losing points to Moreira.
Jake's making his way back on this lap. He crossed the line 1.9 from Gonzalez, got to 1.7, 1.5, now 1.2 each sector. He's up in the ante. Whether it is a bit of a crossover in terms of the tyre at this stage in the race, or Moreira's just slowed up the pace a little, because Gonzalez has had a look on a number of occasions.
Keep an eye on it. Gap across the line, 1.3, personal best lap of the race for Jake Dixon. So is it that late race pace that we've come to see from Dixon in the last couple of seasons? Or are the leaders keeping something in their back pocket, giving themselves options in the latter stages of this race? On board we go with Diogo Moreira. Into turn 4, lining up the back straight.
Lining it up, yeah.
Good little study of Manuel Gonzalez. Not a slight shake of the head there.
He's going for it! He's going for it on the inside line, and this time it will be the lead of the race. Manuel Gonzalez, inside line at turn 6, takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And now Gonzalez leads by 34 points in the world standings to Diego Moreira, who's now 40 points back. That's how quick it changes in Moto2. 8 to go here. Boltis, track limits warning on the monitor as well. Well, catch, pass, or be passed. Yeah, it's not going to be the way we're looking at it as well. What's going on with Andrew Pruvapat as well, down in 23rd position? 7 seconds off the pace of Daniel Brunioff, but looking good. Roberts, track limits warning. Roberts long lap penalty due to exceeding track limits. There we go. Wondering what was going on at the time. He was there trying to find things through. It's all just about made it in together, which is, I suppose, good news so far. As we come over the line once more, lap 16 of 22. 7 laps remain as they go down. Roberts completed the long lap penalty. And now Moreira wants that lead back. It's going to be a to and fro throughout the entirety of this race.
Reminder, next up on the calendar, we got back-to-back races in Barcelona and in Misano. Manuel Gonzalez, this would be huge for his championship. Under pressure with the last round when he had that stone through the radiator. Cut the gap to Canet and to Moreira behind. But Gonzalez looking to reassert his authority on Moto2 proceedings.
And a slight bit of honour to reclaim if he has been bypassed for the MotoGP seat, and Diogo has got the nod, so this is exactly what Manny Gonzalez wants to do today.
Yeah, he'll feel slighted if he doesn't get the move. Not many people have stuck on in Moto2. Tito Rabat, Johan Zarco, of course, successfully defending his title. There is Jake Dixon a little bit deeper again, a late apex through turn 11. Just needs now, for his remaining 6.5 laps, to make his Martin VDS Calex as wide as possible, but you feel like David Alonso is charging.
Yeah, Jake, that's the first time he's lost in a sector, and these last 2 sectors he's given away 2 tenths each time. Prior to that, he was pretty much closing on the lead too.
Where is it? David Alonso. Unfortunate to slide out, battling for the podium back in Austria. Already had one podium, of course, to his name in his rookie season, the Moto3 World Champion, when he was 3rd in Silverstone. Here we go then, from David Alonso. He's got to run wide there, hasn't he?
Nope, parks it well. First man into the 40s this race as he sets a new lap record, 40.964.
And responds from Diogo Moreira, who before that had set the fastest lap of the race. But Alonso, a 1:40.9. That is a really solid lap time from David Alonso.
Jake's about to receive the attention of David Alonso coming forward in this race. He's got some speed now, but it's good to see a response from Diogo Moreira. Looked for a couple of laps there that he may be struggling a little bit to match Gonzalez, and now he's all over his rear wheel again.
Oh, big pump there from David Alonso in the little change of direction up towards turn 7.
Left to right. Now go on the attack.
That will cost Alonso ever so slightly. Behind Dixon as Moreira had a little look down into 11. He's not done here, the Brazilian.
No, he's certainly looking at where the pass may be possible. It just seemed like a little mid-race breather for Diogo, perhaps. The map at 2 may well have been a change that was slightly negative in terms of performance, but good for the tyre.
Anti-previous Pat.
He's clicked it back into.
Anti-previous Pat has got a long lap penalty for shortcut
section. It has been a stronger part of the racetrack for Gonzalez.
Anti-previous Pat then with that penalty.
Push back at the number 10 of Diogo Moreira. Here we go then. A run down towards turn 1. Has Moreira got anything for Gonzalez?
Not this time by, with 5 to go.
Not to be through here. Goes a bit wider to cut across and then swoop round on turn 2. All of this thinking about the run down towards turn 5, perhaps.
This is where we've seen some of the overtakes. Moto2 today off this turn 4, getting the run down this middle back straight.
Oh,
huge
race leader,
Gonzalez! He sat up just like Moreira. Somehow he manages to hold on down towards turn 5, and it was because Moreira had nowhere to go, and suddenly that brings everyone back into this race now.
So, yeah, just a small mistake from Manuel Gonzalez. Moreira had absolutely nowhere to get through on the back down towards turn 6, and now Dixon and Alonso are starting to come into it as well. Bringing in also Aaron Canet. One small mistake from Gonzalez has changed the complexion of the Moto2 race. Here's the replay, Michael.
Moment again coming up, just applying the throttle that little bit too early. He was almost out of the seat.
Yeah, started to spin at angle. He had to roll out of it. Good reactions from Manu Gonzalez there to keep it on track and not even get a mark against him onto the green paint on the outside of the track.
You feel like there's different techniques, aren't there, through 2, 3 and 4 on the run onto the back straight. People changing gears, different parts. Some people short shifting, some people getting that extra drive. Maybe that was the case. He was maybe a little bit higher in the revs or something.
Yeah, sometimes some riders like to short shift up the box on the approach and then right through the torque a little, which makes those type of slides harder to control when you're lower than the RPM.
Down towards turn 1, here comes Alonso on Dixon.
Alonso down the inside line, going for the manoeuvre, laying on the brakes in towards the first corner, picks it up nicely. So there we have it once more, a lead change for what is going to be at the front as well, because Gonzalez lost out momentarily to Diego Moreira, but Moreira's fought back through and now he's dropped down to second. Gonzalez has that lead of the race. Can Dixon fight back to David Alonso? Looking to the inside line, let up the brakes. Gonzalez also going a bit wide there as well. Zonta van der Gerber's been given a long lap, no, track limits warning, as Antipovis Pat has put completion on the long lap penalty. Boltus long lap penalty on there now as well, as we look at the Colombian of David Alonso running in third, Diego Moreira in second for Brazil. Manuel Gonzalez, the Spaniard, leading this race. Exceeding track limits coming through. We're going to have a barnstorm of a race here towards the end, but they're all concertinaing up. Moto2 is turning into what Moto3 should have been, and that race ended, what, about an hour ago, with a side-by-side at the line. Alonso is closing in for Colombia. Just completely arrowing it all down. Some great sector times coming from David Alonso as well. This is amazing. Over the line then. 3 laps remain. Can anyone catch the leader and sling it to the inside for an overtake? Alonso's closing in, so is Moreira. As Moreira gets a track limits warning.
So much ground.
Yeah, and stops it. He's a little wide in 2.
Oh, left the big black line out of the back of his bike. Track limits warnings come up for Diogo Moreira here as well. So he's got to be even more precise on a track where you have to be keeping your nose clean on every single corner. So the 3 laps to go, down towards turn 5. Gonzalez is the 18, Moreira the 10. The Moto3 reigning champion is the number 80 of David Alonso.
Getting himself into contention, into striking distance here. Oh, cut the curve a little tight on the run through 6 towards 7, but yeah, he's there.
Gonzalez has been excellent. Well, all of them. You have to give them all credit, this front trio. As well, Dixon and Fire. They pulled in turn away from Aaron Canet, who's there in 6th with Huertas for company. But they've all provided something in this race. I think it's been a really good Moto2. cagey, chest-like, but I tell you what, still, we're no closer to knowing who's going to win it.
Nope, 2 and a bit laps remaining. It could be a Spanish, Colombian or Brazilian flag at the top of the podium today. But yeah, it's going to be a good battle over these last 2 laps.
And who knows? They all come together. There's still Dixon and Fire will hold out hopes of possibly standing on the podium today. Again on the brakes, Alonso closing on Moreira in front of him. They've had a collision earlier this year, if you remember, back in Germany. Oh, and a little twitch from Moreira. Is there a chance here for Alonso? He's been so strong down into turn 1. He's approaching at pace. 2 laps to go in the race. He is going for it down into turn 1. Moreira's going to let him. Oh, he's had to surely let off the brakes there.
Oh!
That's another moment, but still has the inside line. And Alonso has got through and up into 2nd place.
Wow.
How does he manage it?
A bubble in the front. He obviously had to release some pressure from the front brake and still somehow didn't even miss his apex by a metre. It was impressive stuff. He wasted no time. He knew the opportunity was there. He's already had a few dress rehearsals making overtakes into turn 1. Oh, he'll try and get onto the rear wheel of Manu Gonzalez as fast as possible.
We talk about the X factor, don't we, of Diogo Moreira. The special talent was another one who's just come through him in David Alonso as well. And already he's trying to get onto the back now of Manuel Gonzalez.
This could be a cracking end.
This has been superb from the Colombian. Who said you can't pass around here? He's come from 8th on the grid. He's up to 2nd place in the race. It's David Alonso's type of circuit, isn't it? And he is coming to the fore in this Moto2 Grand Prix of Hungary.
doesn't want to leave it going. He wants to keep it completely on the action zone. Give us all on the edge of the seats. I'm leaning over, looking closer and closer to the commentary box monitor. That's just in front of us here in the booth, and this is fantastic stuff. Alonso is hitting every apex, getting faster and faster through every corner. Compare that to Manuel Gonzalez, who's slow, he's twitching, it's not quick enough. Alonso's 2/10 faster in the third sector than anybody else. This is going to be his run out of the last corner. It'll be a last lap start then. Here we go once more. Well, Moto2 and Moto3 seriously giving us a last lap showdown. Can MotoGP live up to this later on as Amum Sasaki has crashed out of the race? Dive bomb and a half on the inside line. Gonzalez goes defensive through the first corner. David Alonso to the inside of turn 2. The front tyre nearly touching the rear of Gonzalez. He keeps it together. The yellow flag is out in the last sector. Diego Moreira's in there too. Back we go. Down towards turn 6. Hard on the brakes. Gonzalez defending the inside line. Alonso tries to pick the bike up. Tries to find the go point, the traction point. I'm looking all the way at Diego Moreira as well in 10th position. Can he do anything? Can these three take each other out? Jake Dixon's on course for a race win here. Alonso's going for it on the inside of the chicane. And can he take the lead of the race? He's going to have the inside line. He jumps off Gonzalez. Moreira's going to come back through on the outside as well. So Gonzalez jumps from first to third. Into the lead of the race goes David Alonso. He started 8th on the grid. And now he's into the lead of the race on the last lap. Fantastic move from Alonso. He's only got a few more corners left. Gonzalez going to try and fight back. Alonso's going to be in there too. Through 12 and 13. The King Kong 14 coming through. 15 is now through the sweep. 16, 15, 16. Hard down. 17 is the last corner, but Alonso's gone deep. Alonso's gone deep. Moreira's going to come back down the inside line at the last corner. We've got 3 running towards the line. It's going to be another side-by-side. 3 together at the line. Who's going to win the Hungarian Grand Prix? Alonso wins by a 1/10 of a second. Moreira in second. Gonzalez third. The top 3 by 3/10 of a second at the line. 3 side-by-side. Fantastic end. David Alonso wins the Moto2 Hungarian Grand Prix. Fabulous race. What an end. That was tension for the last 7 laps. Brilliant. Brilliant. David Alonso, the first Colombian to win a Moto2 race. He's been second best for so long in Moto2. And finally, here's a race winner. David Alonso wins for the first time in Moto2. Unbelievable. And this was the move at the 9-10 chicane. An outside move. I'm speechless. Wow. Alonso wins. An amazing end. And that is now Moto3 and Moto2 with a barnstorm ending. Please tell me MotoGP can deliver the same. Very much I'm out of breath. Wow. Just wow. That's all you've got to say to that one. Let's confirm the results then. David Alonso wins by 0.174 of a second. Diego Moreira in second by, as I said that time, Gonzalez in third. 0.3 attempts to David Alonso, but that's 0.131 to Moreira. Jake Dixon was still inside a second. So we had 4 riders at the line within a second of each other. Colin Vire impressed in 5th, but 3, 4 and 5 stayed exactly where they were in the race as well. Aaron Canet, 3, 4, 5, 6 now, because Aaron Canet's been put back into 6th position ahead of Adrian Freitas as well, who now goes 7th. Philip Salak in 8th. Diego Moreira, Daniel Holgado, the timings are changing as it comes through. So Daniel Holgado goes in 9th. Ivan Ortola takes 10th. Marcos Ramirez is 11th. Barry Boltus 12th. Zonta van der Gerberg is 13th. Albarine is 14th. Tony Albarino picks up that last points paying position in 15th as well. Sergio Garcia 16th. Alex Escray in 17th. Jorge Navarro 18th. And then Joe Roberts in 19th. Daniel Munoz in 20th. And Nakarin Antiprovizak. No, hang on a minute. I had that right, and now I've got it wrong. Antiprovizak, there we go. Finishes in 21st position. I said don't mess that one up when we get to it, but I still messed it up when we got to it because of Tanaspol Antiprovizak in the Formula 3 as well. Out of the race, though, was Sasaki, crashed at the last 2 laps. Guevara, Vietti, Lopez, Binder, Cooney involved, as well as Orado. 7 out, and most of those happened 3 of those happened lap 1. Effectively 4, though, because Lopez, Binder and Vietti also had to navigate on from the start line crash that we had going on. Okay, we'll stay for the podium ceremony as we build up to MotoGP and the Prix show, getting ready for that. Let's go over back to our colleagues at TNT Sports then, as we have David Alonso victorious.
Welcome back to the Hungarian Grand Prix, where we have had a race for the ages in Moto2. Look at that, that's a little bit of bashing that's going on across the line, I'm guessing. This is on board with Manuel Gonzalez bike, finished 3rd in this race. And there you can see Moreira just on his right there, just dipping a little bit in front of him. Manu wasn't happy about that. And just see as they run to the line, Michael. David Alonso taking the victory.
Yeah, David Alonso parked it in the last corner. Moreira, you can see, come out of the turn, got a little wheelie, went to the right, so nothing intentional there, but it has knocked both the rear brake lever and clutch lever up on Manu's machine. And he was slightly annoyed, probably annoyed at his attempt back at David Alonso on the last lap. The move into 9 was so good from David, and then immediately trying to pounce at turn 10, it compromised his exit, and he gave away 2 spots for the price of 1.
What can you say about this young Colombian, David Alonso? We got to love him over his time in Moto3. Last year, he was a class apart, and as a rookie, he's come up in his rookie season and taken a Grand Prix victory. There are not many riders who've done that. The ones who do it are particularly special, Mike.
They are, yeah. Names like Maverick Vinales, Alex Rins pop out as rookie Moto2 race victors, and David Alonso now etches his name on that list of pretty much champions and superstars.
And Marc Marquez, of course, let's not forget as well. His debut season when he almost won the title, but for those double vision problems at the end of his season. Wow, that was some ride from an infectious personality in David Alonso, coming through from 8th on the grid. All kinds of chaos going on in the first 1 or 2 corners, and as he settled down, he just got quicker and quicker, just like in Austria. Let's not forget, he was in line to win that last time out, threw it away with a couple of laps to go, but he was there, wasn't he, then, and quicker than anyone on track at the time.
The progression is clear. He's certainly, Silverstone was impressive, then had a little dip, but after the summer break, he's come back stronger than ever. Fought it out in Austria, now takes his first victory of his Moto2 career, and there will be plenty more to come.
In terms of the championship, Gonzalez, in one way, can be happy. The gap's back out to 25 over Canet. They basically have traded the points over the last 2 rounds, but Moreira now into 31. So something to take away for Manuel Gonzalez. Tom Luthi just in the background looking on. But yeah, salvaged something. He rode, you have to give them all credit for how they rode. Even, I have to say, Jake Dixon was 4th. Excellent. In the end, 0.8 across the line behind David Alonso. Fire in 5th place, his best ride so far with Canet in 6th. You've got to give them credit too, don't you?
Yeah, also Adrian Huertas in 7th. Probably the most disappointed will be Canet in 6th in terms of the championship race. I think Moreira stealing those 4 points from Gonzalez may prove a little more critical than gaining those on Canet today.
David Alonso's got it all, and now he's got Grand Prix victories to his name at the expense of Manuel Gonzalez. Let's hear what the Spaniard has to say.
Well, Manu, another brilliant ride. You had that huge moment with 5 laps to go, and then to be leading on the final lap. Just talk us through your emotions right now.
Well, it was a very difficult race because this track is so narrow, so one small error, you lose a lot of time there. In the last laps, it was difficult for me to brake and stop the bike, so this was difficult then for the battle. No, but yeah, I'm happy. Well, still in the podium in a track where we suffer, to be here is always a good thing. But we need to continue working to improve in this area. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. Let's keep working and let's keep pushing.
Top job, well done.
Thank you.
Always on that level, isn't he, Manuel Gonzalez? Even after a race that will have got the pulse, rushing at a high speed, he manages to come out and be phlegmatic about it all. I'm leading the championship, 25 points, move on, 8 rounds to go, still ball firmly in his core.
Composes himself, focuses on the positives, knows what could have been today, but yeah, I do agree, he's always on a level, despite crossing the line, quite angry with 3rd position today. But yeah, it was a quality performance once again from Manu.
Diogo Moreira did a lot of the legwork out the front after he got past Jake Dixon. 2nd in the end. Opportunistic, you have to say, the move on the last lap. Let's hear from him.
Diogo, another top ride. You close in on Manu in the World Championship. Firstly, you were right behind him when he had that massive moment, and when David ran wide into the final chicane, did you think all of my Christmases have come at once?
Yeah, I think we make the perfect strategy. At the beginning, I was pushing a lot to try to make a gap at the beginning, and was I think the key for make this race. So we are happy. I'm happy, and now we need to enjoy and keep like this because we have 8 races to go. So let's continue.
Great ride. Well done.
Thank you.
Will he be a MotoGP rider next year? We think so. Livio Supo said as much. Looks like Honda the destination, 5th podium of the year for the Brazilian, and with a return to that country next year. People from Guyana actually have been here this weekend, trying to prepare the race for next season. Whether it'll happen or not, I know a lot's been spent, I know a lot of construction's happening, but he'll be a huge part of it.
It does sound like we are on our way to Brazil. It sounds like a fantastic venue awaits. And what support there will be for the young Brazilian if he is a MotoGP rider there next year.
There might be a bit for the Colombian too, won't they? They made a huge trip down to Argentina, the Colombians, so I'm sure they'd be able to get down to Guyana next year to support this man who wins his first Moto2 race. The boy is a bit special.
David, you are a Moto2 winner for the first time, and wow, did you have to do it the hard way today. Outside of the top 10 on the first lap, how on earth did you manage to pull that off?
Honestly, to be here long time ago, for me it's incredible because I am working hard, not easy moments, a lot of days crying alone, but then it's what we love, this sport. One day we cry, but the next day we want to get on the bike again. So this race, I do a really bad start. I need to know how to make a good start with the Moto2. I don't know how, but I just was so focused on the race. Like, I don't know how many laps were. I just see when it's 3 laps to go and 1 lap to go. I was like really focused on myself, like living my own dream, just trying to not make mistakes, see the guy in front, not two more riders. And in the 2 laps to go, I see that today could be the great day. So I say, let's go for it. Let's put all in, and yeah, here we are. I don't know what to say. Well, one thing, Javi, reserva mesa que nos vamos al Chushi 99. Thank you so much, all people.
Congratulations, David.
And that is how you should be on your first Moto2 victory. The glorious David Alonso taking his maiden win in that class. And I'll tell you something, fellas, for a lap and for a track that we've been very vocal about hating for MotoGP, we've just seen 2 of the best last laps in the support classes we've had all year.
Yeah, and it's because passing is at a premium. So you have to be perfect, and you can see them lining these passes up. I mean, it was an incredible last lap. David Alonso in the braking zones. I mean, at that point there, Gonzalez didn't go defensive. Do you know why? Because he thought it wasn't possible to pass there. That's why, and that caught him off guard, and it shocked him. And at this point, it's Alonso's race to lose. We know he's good in the braking zone. He's about a quarter of a lap to go. 2 important braking zones into 12 and 13. He goes a bit deep there. but he gets the exit good, and I thought, oh, he's done it. He's won his first Moto2 race. But then he comes up to the tricky turn 15. He thinks people are close to him, so he gets in the braking zone too deep, nearly runs off the track. Look how deep he goes. But it was so clever there at the apex. He shut the throttle. That caught Moreira off guard. Moreira had to sit the bike up, and then it was just a race, a drag to the line. Gonzalez tries to go around the outside. There's a slight collision with the two sort of championship rivals. But this is why we go racing. They are the races we remember. You know, remember where you were when you saw David Alonso win his first Moto2 race. That kid has smashed himself to pieces this year. He's had some of the biggest crashes. He's had injuries. But I tell you what, talent is talent, and his desire is incredible. And we were watching it, me and Sylvan, we commentated all the way through that race, didn't we? And I'm like, I think Alonso might have this. This was like about 9 laps to go, and he worked his way through. So, loved it. Loved every minute of it.
And Diogo Moreira just taking the gap down a little bit in the championship. It was 35. Now it's 31 points, getting a little bit tighter. Manu Gonzalez not very happy over the line. It's all getting a bit fruity in Moto2, isn't it?
Yeah, very fruity. And it's great to see. I mean, those two, they're very similar in the way they ride and the way they've got this immaculate style, and they're going to be fighting all the way. And now the championship is definitely on, so we're going to see who's going to thrive under pressure. Well, nobody cracked here today. They were cracked by Alonso, but that's only his talent that cracked them. But them two, they're going to be going at it. They spent the whole race marking each other, making very few mistakes. I mean, you can tell that they are, they are the real deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Manu Gonzalez, the real deal, of course, leading the championship. Little calmer now, and a very well done to Jake Dixon, by the way, as we celebrate this podium.
Yeah, he had an excellent ride into 4th spot. Neil mentioned it before about David Alonso beating himself up this year. More crashes than anybody in the class this season. And yet here he is on the top step in his rookie year in Moto2. Good to see those smiles, isn't it, on the Aspar team. Went through tough times at the end of last year in Valencia. A lot of the team obviously are based there in Valencia, and with all the floods and everything. David Alonso, you know, helped out in the clean-up. He was there the days afterwards, cleaning out people's garages, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, very much it'll be one for the whole Aspar environment. A great day for them here in Hungary. Manuel Gonzalez picked up his 9th podium trophy of the season, and in doing so extends his championship lead over Canet. Yes, it's cut down by Moreira, but back to 25 points, his buffer over the rest of the field. Moreira it is, the rider on form, however. 2nd place for him. That's his 5th podium in the last 8 rounds. So those 2 no scores in Sachsenring and Brunno are really going to cost him, aren't they? But for the first time in Moto2, he had 18 Grand Prix victories in the Moto3 class, 14 on way to being Moto3 World Champion last year, and he holds aloft the trophy for the first time in the Moto2 World Championship. And just as we heard on those 14 occasions last year in the junior class, let's have a listen to the Colombian national anthem for the first time ever in the intermediate class.
Beautifully done. David Alonso is a Moto2 winner. Diogo Moreira continuing his great form, and championship leader having to settle for 3rd spot today. After the break, we will start our build-up to MotoGP. What a day so far.
Yeah, thanks, Susie. You're absolutely right. What a day so far. Next up, MotoGP, and that's going to get underway in around about about half an hour's time. We'll be on air when the bikes head to the grid, and we'll be joining our TNT team. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.